Yeah. We are starting a new series today. I'm a little discombobulated, I guess. Uh, please check out my Star Trek Next Generation recaps every single Friday. Please check out my If Then episodes every single Friday afternoon. If you like this author, then maybe like that author. I'm trying really hard with those. I think there's one with black authors, no one has watched. There's Native American detectives with Hillerman, no one has watched. There's vampires, there's forensics, there's homicides, there's FBI, there's vampires, there's werewolves, there's the Bridgertons. So please go check all those out. And don't forget Flashback Mondays, where I talk about all the books in Romantic Times Book Review magazine. I try and do at least 4 stars, four and a half stars. And I've been getting a little carried away. The next one is going to be mind blowing. I think I'm hitting 100 with the next one. I'm not sure yet. Don't quote me on that. But the past couple have been 60 or 70 books. Trying to do a few from historical romance, a few mystery, a few contemporary, a few inspirational, few Harlequin, few paranormals, few sci-fi, trying to do them all. But anyways, welcome to the D. Louise book series. I'm Christina Kristina. This is where we read books and talk about books. No special effects going on here. No editing, no theme music, none of that fancy schmancy stuff that other channels have. Because I just don't have the talent. I'm just not creative. I don't have the money, and I don't have the creativity. So it's just me reading books, talking books. And we are starting a brand new book series. We are currently doing J.R. Ward's Black Dagger Brotherhood. We are doing James Patterson's Alex Cross series. We have finished up Victoria Thompson's Gaslight series. And we are starting C.S. Harris, Sebastian St. Cyr's story. There are 20 books in this series thus far. I like to come into a series that has at least 10 or more sometimes. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. She wants my attention. Um, hold on a second here. Okay. So, anyways, I lost my glasses. Uh, we're starting a new series. It takes place about 1800 in London. And, I started to keep track and then I just gave up. I knew who some of them were. So I have my little list here, my little spreadsheet. So it's not as bad as some other books because I'm just learning. I'm just restarting and refamiliarizing myself with the series. So I'm getting to know the characters all over again. So I need to figure out who's my important core characters, who I pay attention to, and then who are the extra characters, the periphery, however you say that word, the fringe characters that I don't need to pay that much attention to. So I've got my core cast, and Sebastian, I believe he's the third son. His two older brothers have died, so now he's the heir presumptive, or however you say that word. And so he's a viscount, and this girl he knew, Rachel, she's been murdered. And the whole point of it is to figure out who murdered her. And the reason it gets with him is because his pistol is found at the scene of the crime. So, order for his arrest is immediately issued by the constable. Yes, ma'am. Come here. Here, come here. You gotta keep nudging me. Um, just a second here. So the constable automatically thinks that St. Cyr did it, that he's the guilty party, so they want to issue an arrest. Um, but before that's like, I have this thing. Now, one of my authors says to me, or says to the public in one of her videos, that If it happens, if Johnny and Joe go to the store on the page and you experience going to the store, then that's on stage. And if you hear from Catherine that Johnny and Joe went to the store, then that happened off page, off stage. And we have had books where the murderer is a constant present. They're always there. They're in every scene. They're always in the background. And then you have the, oh, hi, how are you? My name is so and so. I gotta go now. And that's the kind of culprit you have in this one. The murderer is very small glimpses of the person, the killer, until the end, until the whole motive is revealed. Up until that point, you have a couple of glimpses and you don't even see it coming. And I will let you know, spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert. I don't have one of those. I need to get that thing that one of those people have. Beep 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 beep. Spoil it. So, anyways, I won't tell you who done it, but I will tell you everything else that happens in the book. I will tell you everything else. I will not tell you the ending, and I will not spoil the who done it, but the rest of it I will do. So, let's get to know Saint Cyr. We got to get to know Saint Cyr. He's a really good guy. And he was protecting this lady, a friend. She is a married friend. He is not sexually engaged with this lady, but he is friends with this lady. And her husband is abusive to her, and Sebastian was trying to lean, you can lean on my shoulder, you can talk to me, I can try and help you. And her husband was furious that Sebastian was doing this. So this other guy wanted to do a duel. So they did a duel over a spilt drink. And Sebastian, his friend is like, don't do this. And Sebastian knows that the guy has a history of counting 12 steps and then turning around and shooting. So Sebastian was prepared for it. And I think that he ducked or dived or whatever when the guy shot. And then he shot the guy, like grazed him or something on the arm. And he was declared the winner. And that's what he was doing that morning. So then he's alerted to the fact that they have found Rachel's body and that there's a warrant out for his arrest. And then he goes, talks to his father, and his father admits that it was his pistol they found at the church. Or does he tell him that right away? Yes, I think so. I think he tells Sebastian that it was his pistol found at the church and it had Saint Cyr on it. But Sebastian thinks it might be his nephew. He's not sure. He's doing all this investigation. He has an estranged, as the series starts, he has an estranged relationship with his father. So that is something they're going to work on the next couple of books. We're also going to work on getting Sebastian a wife in the next few books. It's going to take a few. And we get Tom. And Tom is going to I like his character. I like Tom. So, let me go through this a little bit. And Paul is going to be a very, 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 very important character. And he will eventually even get his own stories, kind of, sort of. So Rachel York is your victim, and she's been brutally killed in a church. She was set up to meet Saint Cyr, the father. We learn that much later. We do not know that in the beginning, but she was set up to see the father. And that's not who came to see her. So then we have Melanie, the lady that was being comforted by Sebastian, not physically though, just friends. Her husband, Christopher. Why did I think it was Maxwell? He might be somebody else. Okay. And then we have Captain John Talbot, the guy he was dueling with. Then we have Henry Lovejoy, the Bow Street guy, who will become a very important character in the future. Um, and Edward Maitland and Lord Charles Jarvis will also become very important characters in the future. And then, of course, the Earl of Hendon is Sebastian's father. Of course, they had an estranged relationship. Then we have Kat, Kat, a woman that Sebastian was involved with, and that the parties involved, the parents involved, forbid the relationship, but he is still friendly with Kat, and she has taken up with a French gentleman, Pierpoint, and he's a French gentleman, and he's going to be severely entangled in this mess. um he's got so much involvement. He's not the actual killer, I will reveal that much, but he's got a huge part in this whole thing. He's a huge reason for some of this stuff. um and then we have Sebastian's nephew Bayard, who also plays a part in this. um Probably a not innocent third party, or maybe a guilty first party. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And then we have Tom, who is going to become possibly Sebastian's man Friday, Tiger, helper, errand runner. We'll see what happens. But so they find the gun, of course, and they issue the arrest for Sebastian, and they pick up Sebastian at one point, and it's one of those uh uh I can't think of the word now. Somebody will help me here. But um one person has a knife out. Another person is trying to seduce, I got an itch. Seduce Sebastian to take him into custody. And things go wrong, and the guy trying to with Sebastian slips, and he falls into the knife that the guy is holding. And because of the circumstances of the situation, they blame Sebastian, because Sebastian tried to save the guy, and he ended up with blood on him and stuff like that. And of course, no one saw the third party with the knife. They all blame Sebastian. So that's a little, extra motive or incentive for Bow Street to go after Sebastian and investigate him. But the whole book, Henry is having little doubts. He's having legal niggling doubts. And he's still having these doubts when Sebastian's father comes to him and confesses, because some parts of his story is true and some parts is false. It was his pistol, and he was intending to visit Rachel, and he did see the body. He did not kill her, but he's confessing to save his son because he thinks his son may have done it. Um, to cover that up, but his son didn't do it. And his son works really hard investigating um the murder and trying to figure out what happens. And Kat will help him. His associate Kat, the female lady that's involved with Pierpoint, she will help him. She will not tell him all the details, because some of the details lean towards Pierpoint, the French guy. Like I said, he's got his hands a lot in this. But Kat protects Pierpoint while helping Sebastian. And there's quite a few notes in the book, and Sebastian investigates them all. They investigate Rachel's lady's maid, and apparently her lady's maid found some stuff that was worth some stuff, and she ends up getting killed for her uh stuff. And Sebastian goes to talk to her, unknowns that she's already dead. And then Sebastian is spotted by someone he knows, and goes, "Hey, I saw him leaving." And even though, later it's discovered that the woman had been dead for many, many, many hours before Sebastian got there, so that sort of kind of clears him. But those little details, those little pesky details, the only one who cares about that is Henry Lovejoy. He's the only one that might be willing to accept Sebastian's innocence in all this. And I love Sebastian goes and interrogates or questions Donatelli. He's a painter. He was painting Rachel. He, had feelings for the woman. Donatelli is also provides a couple of key points of information. It's like Sebastian goes and talks to him. He gets a little snip. Then Sebastian goes investigates that. Then he finds something else, and he goes back to the painter, and the painter gives him another little snip. And then he goes away and talks to other people, and then he goes back to the painter, and he gets in your face, and the light bulbs go off. So then Sebastian gets some clues about Pierpoint, and he eventually goes to talk to Pierpoint, and he also discovers that there is a gay relationship going on here, and the gay relationship was being blackmailed. So that was another point in the story. And that is it goes 6 ways to Sunday, but the gay person who really while he was trying to cover that part up, he had a larger part in the spyness part. So he had a larger part in that. That was more of a pertinent thing. His knowledge of Pierpoint and Pierpoint's knowledge of him, and Pierpoint also has knowledge of Sebastian that Sebastian didn't know about either. So Pierpoint has got a lot of information, and if he would only just spill it. But I think he ends up being the scapegoat here. But we have some confrontations with the family, and Kate and Pierpoint have quite a few conversations. We do meet a young lady who will become a more substantial character as the books go on. Her name is Hero. She's a female, and she is the daughter of Lord Jarvis, and she will become a more significant player in future books. So, who killed Rachel York, and who killed Mary Grant, and who stole the important spy papers? Who has knowledge of Sebastian's true parentage? Although it will be fixed quickly, but it's a thing for like 5 minutes. And who is doing all this really bad stuff? You'll have to read the book to find out who is the real murderer and what happens. Sebastian and Henry Lovejoy will form a relationship, and they will help each other with cases as time goes on. We will but it's real complicated, and it's multi-layered, and there's quite a few plot twists, to throw in. It's not just murder, but it's French spy in the war. There's also pieces about the prince, the regent, and his background information. There's a whole bunch of stuff there. So we have finished book 1 with Angels Fear. We will move on to book 2, When Gods Die. And then we will move on to Why Mermaids Sing. Those are the first 3 books in the series. So please hit the like and subscribe, and let me know I'm doing a good job. And if you want to know her identity, please check out Dirty 30 on New Year's Eve. And I hope you enjoyed these books as much as I do. And please hit the like and subscribe. Thank you so much. Have a good one.